Hey there everyone, I'm Ashley Billington and you're watching the Campfire. Our Inside High School Sports Show, we break down districts from across the Metroplex. There are some good teams coming at you in this district. These are the teams that you'll be seeing after the 2020 realignment.
Denison, Frisco, Lebanon Trail, Liberty, Memorial, Lake Dallas, Lovejoy, Rock Hill, and Princeton.
You can vote on the team that you'll think will take the district crown in this district on our Twitter account. It's at IHSS-DFW.
District 7-5A Division II trivia question. Which of these ESPN commentators went to Lake Dallas High School? A. Dan Dockich, B. Doris Burke, C. Dusty Dorovacek, or D. Matt Berry?
You need to go to anywhere that you can find the Campfire on our social media platforms. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and let me know what the correct answer is. Also, if you're a podcast person, well, the Campfire comes to you in podcast form. You can listen to it as well as all of our Inside High School Sports podcast catalog on Apple Podcast as well as Spotify. Now it's time for our film session, presented by your local North Texas Geico agents.
District 7-5A Division II will be all about getting off to a good start. The formula that Frisco head coach Jeff Harbert used to go 3 rounds deep in last year's postseason was to jump on teams early and often. The Raccoons returned tremendous two-way player Chase Lowry, who was Frisco's deep threat on offense and shut down cornerback on defense. They will be a favorite to win the district title after a solid 11-2 record last year. Other favorites in the district should be Denison, who just missed the playoffs last year, and Lovejoy. The Yellow Jackets are expecting a big year out of running back J.D. Price. The Leopards return dual-threat quarterback R.W. Rucker, who will help light a fire under the offense. Lake Dallas had a tough 2019 season, but is ripe for a bounce-back season in 2020. The rest of the district is interesting as well. Lebanon Trail, Memorial, and Liberty are all Frisco ISD teams looking to create a culture on the gridiron. Meanwhile, the wild card could be Prosper Rock Hill, a new school working under new head coach Mark Humble, who was formerly with the Lone Star staff.
Some really good teams in this district, which also means there are some really good players. The North Texas Honda dealers want to recognize the players on the rise, those players destined to lead their team to victory.
Frisco's cornerback Chase Lowry is a rising star on the field. In 2019, the two-way player was voted the overall district MVP. He also had 48 tackles and 8 pass breaks last season. Lowry is going into his senior season and currently is uncommitted, but has 23 Division I offers. Quarterback Ralph Rucker will be a senior at Lovejoy in the 2020 season. Last year, Rucker had 157 pass completions for almost 2,000 yards and 38 touchdowns. He also added 823 rushing yards to his stat line. He will be the main piece for the Leopards offense this season. Frisco Liberty two-way player Evan Stewart will be just a junior in the 2020 season. As a sophomore, Stewart had 43 receptions for 757 yards. He added 108 more rushing yards to his stat line and 7 total touchdowns. Look for him to not only be a target on the offense, but a menace for the Redhawks on defense, as he will also play cornerback. Lebanon Trail's quarterback Drew Martin is another player on the rise in this district. Martin in 2019 had over 2,000 yards passing and almost 600 rushing. He also had 19 passing touchdowns and another 10 rushing touchdowns for the Trailblazers. Going into his senior year, he will be looking to lead his team to a winning season. Denison Yellow Jacket J.D. Price will be a threat to any defense in 2020. Price was just a sophomore in the 2019 season, but is a leader of this Yellow Jacket squad. In his career, Price has 2,042 rushing yards and 20 total touchdowns. Look for this running back to continue to mow down defenses in the coming season.
And those players are great on the gridiron, but do you know somebody from the high school sports scene doing great in your community? Nominate them for the North Texas Honda Dealers Helpful Heroes. A player, coach, or team going that extra mile in your area to do some good. To nominate, go to ihsshelpfulheroes.com. Now it's time for our Media Day segment where we talk to the coaches about their teams and their new district.
Hey there, everyone. I have the head coach of the Frisco Raccoons, Jeff Harbert, on with me.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So first off, I have to make the comment. How many raccoon mascots do you know of other than your own Frisco Raccoons?
I think we're the only one in the nation. This was my 15th year at Frisco High School, and that was kind of always the thing is like, hey, the only raccoons in the nation. So, hey, one of a kind, right?
I really like that big blow up that you guys have what your guys run out of.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's awesome. The kids love it, and the little kids really love it.
With last year, your first year as the head coach, you went 6-1 in district play, and with a 1 3-point loss, you have to be happy with the way it went because whatever you're selling, your team is certainly bought into. What was your impression of year one?
I feel like year one's just kind of not necessarily year one of what I'm doing, but year 15 of what we've been doing. I came in with Coach Gibson, with his original staff, and I've been there ever since. And, it's just a continuation of everything that he's preached. And, we were just able to kind of further it along. The kids really bought into it. We were blessed with some talent. We knew our junior class was going to be good. They had success in middle school. They were undefeated as freshmen, so we felt like they'd have a really good chance at success whenever they got to the varsity level. It proved true with talent in that class, and then we had talent in our senior class, even though we only had 18 seniors, and then we had some sophomores that played some pivotal roles, and we got some talent in that class as well. So we've got several classes kind of stacked on top of each other with some good football players, and kind of showed up on the field last year.
And Chase Lowry is one of the best two-way players in the Metroplex. What does he bring to the table for you?
Well, Chase is just a dynamic playmaker, no matter where you play. Two ways, offense, defense, but special teams is big for us too. He took a couple punts back last year. He took a kickoff back. Set up a huge score in a Reedy game, which was a early district clash for us, trying to figure out if we were able to play with the big boys or not. And ball was rolling on the ground, people all around him. He scoops it up and runs it down to the 2-yard line, sets up a touchdown. So he's just a playmaker wherever you put him. In our offense, it's a really tough matchup for defenses because they've really got to commit people to the box to stop the run. And if they leave somebody out there one-on-one with Chase can usually, win that battle. Defensively, he's got great instincts. He's probably going to play college ball on the defensive side, somewhere in a Power 5 conference. He really, really gets what we're trying to do. He really understands how people are trying to attack him. He's a very intelligent football player. So Chase brings a lot to the table. And this year we're expecting big things from him.
And Coach, you have one of the rare 9-team districts that gives you only 2 warm-up games before district play. Is that an advantage or disadvantage for you? And can you kind of go into your district a little bit?
Well, you never like playing in a 9-team district because, it's always, I feel like it takes at least 3 games to kind of figure out who you are and who needs to be playing where. Last year, a guy that we've got that's a major player, Chartelis Reese. He's starting the defense as a sophomore, and then last year he's trying to play defense, and we need him on offense, and we kind of getting settled into his role of playing mostly offense and some defense, as we get into that middle of the season. So, you just got to, it takes time to figure things out like that. Last year, our 3rd game of the year was against Denton Braswell, which it wound up being for essentially the district title. At the time, you don't know that. They're coming off, they hadn't made the playoffs before. We were coming off a year where we had to scrap to barely make the playoffs. But it wound up being the district title game. So it's just things like that playing that district ball game week 3 is, it's a different type of deal. So you wish I had a little more time, but it is what it is. And we're all in the same boat in the district.
Thank you for joining us on the Campfire. It's time for a couple messages from our sponsors.
The North Texas Honda dealers recognize members of our high school sports community who take time out to be helpful heroes. Nominate a helpful hero today at ihsshelpfulheroes.com. The film session is brought to you by your local North Texas Geico agents. To find the office near you, go to geico.com/DFW. The District Breakdown is presented by GiveMeTheVin.com. These teams make it look easy, just like GiveMeTheVin.com makes it easy to sell your vehicle.
Now it's time for the District Breakdown, presented by GiveMeTheVin.com. We have Inside High School Sports Insider Ryan Harris on to talk more about this district with us. Ryan, over to you.
Thanks, Ashley. District 7 has some interesting storylines. There are a few good teams at the top, and even the teams who struggled last year were on the wrong end of several close games. Add in a school playing its first football season in Prosper Rock Hill, and this should be a district to keep an eye on in 2020. I like Frisco and Denison in this district, but let's break down each team to get a better view of the playoff picture. Denison just missed out on the playoffs last season, finishing with a 6-4 record. The Yellow Jackets return a strong junior class, headlined by running back Jadarian Price, who has offers from Baylor and Ohio State, among others. Price will be a tremendous weapon for quarterback Caleb Hebner. Denison returns plenty of talent along the defensive line as well, and I like this team to make some noise in district play over the next 2 seasons. Frisco is back. That's right, the Raccoons not only made the playoffs in 2019, but they won 2 playoff games en route to an 11-2 finish. Frisco went 5-1 against teams in its new district, and they should be looking to start a tradition of deep playoff runs. The Raccoons return junior Cole Hudson on the offensive line. Hudson has offers from Texas and Oklahoma State, among others. Cornerback Chase Lowry is a 3-star recruit and is back for his farewell tour at Frisco High. With talent returning on both sides of the ball, I expect Frisco to be a favorite to win the district championship. Lebanon Trail took a step forward in 2019 but still finished with a 3-7 record. The Blazers will look to take another step in the right direction with talent returning at wide receiver and along the offensive line. Frisco Liberty won 1 more game in 2019 than it did in 2018. The bad news for the Red Hawks is that they only won 1 game in 2019. That one win came against the Wakeland team that Liberty won't face in district play this season. Liberty returns talent in the passing game in the form of junior Evan Stewart, who already has an impressive offer list. Tight end Connor Holstein has a lengthy offer list as well. The Red Hawks will need both guys to have big seasons in order to take the next step towards playoff contention. Frisco Memorial kicked off the 2019 season with a win over Salina. That would be the only win for the Warriors last season, though there were some close losses. Memorial returns 2 dynamic pass catchers in Zion Steptoe and Jacoby Bullock. The Warriors return plenty of talent on the offensive line as well. There's plenty to build on, but Memorial will need to do it quick if a playoff spot is in the cards. Lake Dallas finished with a 3-7 record in 2019, and that includes a 2-4 record against teams in its new district. Like Memorial, Lake Dallas was on the wrong end of a handful of close games. A playoff spot is there for the Falcons if they can flip the script in 2020. Lovejoy made the playoffs and finished with a 7-4 record a year ago. 3 of the 4 losses were close games, and the Leopards figured to be in the midst of the playoff race after going 5-1 against teams in their new district last season. Princeton finished 4-6 last season, and none of the 6 losses were close. The Panthers have something to build on after winning 3 games against teams in their new district, but they'll need to nearly double their win total to make the playoffs this year. That brings us to Prosper Rock Hill. The Blue Hawks already have one of the nicer indoor facilities in the Metroplex, and that isn't even to mention Children's Health Stadium, which Prosper High broke in last year. The state-of-the-art facilities may not mean immediate success though. Not every school can be like Alvin Shadow Creek, and that's okay. I'm excited to see Rock Hill play some football this fall. That brings me to my player and team to watch. My team to watch is the Denison Yellow Jackets. I'm excited to watch this team in its exciting junior class over the next 2 years. Denison should be hungry after missing out on a playoff spot a year ago and should contend with Frisco for a district title. I also want to mention here Frisco Memorial and Frisco Liberty. Those 2 teams, both along with Lake Dallas, struggled last year in some close games. Again, if those teams can flip the script, a playoff spot could be in the cards for any of them. My player to watch is Liberty wideout Evan Stewart. If Liberty wants to take the next step and possibly make a run at the playoffs, Stewart is exactly the kind of talent that will enable the Redhawks to do just that. I'll be keeping my eyes on Stewart and on those Liberty Redhawks this fall. As always, it was fun, and that's all I have for District 7. Back to you, Ashley.
Ryan, great insight as always. That's all we have for this episode of The Campfire. Come back every Monday for a new show. Until next Monday, follow our social accounts. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. That'll be bringing you original content all week long. Until next time, I'm Ashley Bullington, and thank you for watching The Campfire.